Hello folks, and welcome to Telling Tinder Tales, the podcast where the search for love often goes wrong, dates get strange, but the one thing you can rely on is we'll have a good laugh about it. With me, Chris O'Neill.
And me, Thomasin Lockwood. Every week our guests call in from all around the world and we hear their wildest, weirdest and occasionally even wholesome dating stories. So Chris, what's your green flag?
Well now, I come from a pre-flag era, to be perfectly honest, but I suppose I would always have liked someone who laughed at my jokes.
Oh, very nice.
And yourself?
I feel like the bar for me is quite low. I don't have a lot of green flags, but my red flag is anyone who's rude to the waiter, or too flirty with the waiter, or is a waiter.
Right. Great that dining is such an important part of your mating ritual. Excellent. Very good. So, Thomasin, who have you got calling in this week?
So, first up we have Natasha. Hi, Natasha.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from London today, as always. North London, specifically. I never go south of the river.
Spoken like a true North Londoner.
Thank you, yeah.
And Greg, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I get to call you in from Los Angeles, so fun times here.
Absolutely. And finally, welcome back to a previous guest. Last time she was here, she talked of the virtues of He-Man. I highly recommend checking out her episode. Rosy, hi.
Hello, it's lovely to be back. I'm in Hebden Bridge, but mostly I've been living in Brighton for the last 20 years.
So, I think we better get started. Natasha, would you like to tell us your story, please?
Of course. I'm so excited for this one because it really reveals how unobservant I am as a person, which is really just laying that down as the groundwork here before we begin. So, my story begins on Bumble, and that's a very important, just putting that this happened there, because I meet this girl, and obviously I meet this girl, get the notification, little bit of crush on her developing instantly. Okay, we message each other back and forth, not very long. I'm very forward when it comes to like using dating apps or whatever, because I like to just get off them as quickly as possible. So we have a bit of a back and forth, and then she's like, I'm going to a party, do you want to come along? So I'm like, great. My mind, first date, going to a party, having a bit of a boogie, doing some shots. Great. We go, and it's a very nice time. It was like a warehouse party in Tottenham. Very nice, very cool. We go, we have a boogie. We don't kiss, we don't do anything such as that, really. Just have a very sweet time. I say goodbye at the end of the night. I'm like, let's do something again shortly. Great. We move on. Second date. She says, do you want to come and see this band with me? It's like a psychedelic rock band at a very, very tiny bar. And I'm like, absolutely great. Sounds like an amazing time. I agree to meet her. We go there. But on the day of, she messages me and she's like, do you mind if two of my friends come along? And I'm like, not what I intended, but sure, I'm very go with the flow. I'll just go with this. So we get there, there's her and her two friends. And so she introduces them. For the sake of the story, I'll call friend one, I'll call him John. Friend two, I'll call Jim, and then her, I'll call Rebecca. We get into the bar. Music starts. It's great. I mean, it's like psychedelic rock. It like each track is like 17 minutes long, so like there's barely any conversation because we're just waiting through each song. Anyway, end of those songs. John went with Rebecca out back. I was left with Jim, who starts like kind of like quizzing me about who I am, what's going on in my life, that kind of stuff. And we have quite a lot in common. I'm like, I'm into Magic the Gathering. He's like, I'm into Magic the Gathering. And we talk about that for a little while.
Just for any international listeners, Magic the Gathering, just very quick description.
Oh, yeah. A collectible card game, big, like, nerdy stuff. Just nerdy all the way down. That's me. Geeky, dorky, etc. So we talk about this, talk about a couple of films we have in common and stuff. And I'm like, great, but I want to talk to the girl who I, am here to see. So I go through to the back. Guy follows me straight through, chatting some more. And I'm like, that's, cool. Let's, wrap this up. I want to talk to my friend. Maybe, we have a good vibe. But she's there with friend one. And I go outside and they are like touchy-feely outside. And I'm like, okay, I've completely lost track of what's going on here. I have no idea what's happening. So I go over to her. I've said, I've had a good night, kind of exhausted by this point. So that's basically where the story itself ends, except about a week later, I go, was that a date? Because I'm starting to realize that she, in the way she'd set it up, there was friend one who she said was coming along, and then she was like, you should meet friend two because I think he's really the kind of guy you like.
Oh.
And I'm starting to realize that this girl I matched with wasn't trying to date me, in fact, but was trying to set me up with that friend. And all of this, to bring it round in a neat little circle, I go back on Bumble and I'm like, that's very strange because you assume you meet someone on the app, they're going to know, you're going to have intent. So I go back and Bumble has a best friends feature as well as a dating feature. So I'd matched with this girl fully with the intent of like, let's date, let's go romantic. She met me like besties.
Oh
yes. Woo! Now I will say, and Natasha, I'm a lesbian, just coming up forward. This happens a lot with lesbians where you get the kind of bestie vibes. So I just plowed on through, just like completely. That was not what was going on in her mind at all. So yeah, it took me like fully like a week to realize that. And it took me a lot of courage to come on this podcast and tell this story because it has haunted my every nightmare since.
Oh. Very good.
So, Natasha, do you think Jim was fully aware of the fact that you and he were being matched up?
Well, yeah, here's the thing is, at the end, he was like, let's exchange numbers, which I obviously just assumed was a very friendly gesture of like, I mean, we do kind of have some stuff in common. Like, we love card games, evidently. Always need another player for our group. So, yeah, I mean, he got my number and I got his, but it never went to anything. I mean, he basically drops off my planet at that point. I mean, God, like...
I still find it mesmerizing that a woman matched with another woman and then tried to set that woman up with a guy.
And she was very bold about it. I mean...
But it was a friend match.
It was a friend match,
yeah.
so... And this was only like our second meeting as well. And she came in strong with that. Here's the guy I think is for you.
Sounds like Rebecca was the middleman, like the Bumble for
this
for
was
Jim.
like a trade-off, like a deal.
Yeah. I have a couple of questions. First of all, if you had known the situation from the get-go, would you have considered Jim?
Oh no, I don't date men. That's
okay.
part of the problem.
Oh man!
Now, I thought I was quite clear to Rebecca that I was a lesbian. I mean, I am queer, like capital Q, like queer, like come on. So how that just flew past. I mean, I say I'm unobservant, but let's share the pie here.
Yeah, I think both you and Rebecca are definitely you're walking on different planes. I think to have.
Okay.
Well, let's open up the questions to our other guests. Greg, first of all, any questions, feedback, concerns?
I'd be clueless as well in terms of like, hold on. I thought we were matched. If you're saying I'm a queer with capital Q.
I'm concerned that evidently my flirting game must be dog bottom because for her to be like, not even friend. Get a whiff, not even a bit. Like,
good thing you didn't try and go for a kiss.
I this is already a nightmare, but that would have compounded it. Like.
That would have prevented day 2. It would have actually been a better thing.
I mean, maybe it was been my saving grace.
So, Rosy, have you a question for Natasha?
Yes, I was very interested that in the fact that this error came out of trying to get off dating sites as soon as possible, because I've had the same thing. I don't very often go on them, but when I do, I find it so stressful and so overwhelming. And so I've done this, not exactly that myself.
Thank God.
Although I have had a couple of similar incidents where either I haven't realised or someone else thinks that we're on a date and I'm desperately trying to explain that we're not. But yeah, I have you had any other experiences like that where you've basically like skim read the situation? I normally wait till I've got a couple of people and then I'm like, great, I've got some, I'll focus on these. And then within about 5 minutes of conversation, I'm like, damn it, they're duds. So I wondered if this was like a common thing for you. Is the problem you or Natasha? No, you are Natasha, Rebecca.
Yeah, I'm starting to disassociate from the person who went on that double date now.
What's that thing from Split? That wasn't me, that was Patricia.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever had anything like I'm very straightforward with like my intention. Like I said, I try and get off the apps quickly because I find like whether I spend a week texting someone or whether I spend like a day texting someone, I'm gonna end up at the same point of having to like go get coffee with them. I can't think of any like significant misfirings, but that's because this one is so dramatically misfiring that when I try and think of anything of the same caliber, I'm like, no, Natasha, you kind of peaked with that one. Like,
you know what though? I know you started the story by saying, "Oh, I'm an unobservant person," but I blame the filter on Bumble. I really do. I think
evidently the design of the BFF side versus the dating side isn't a strong enough kind of divide, because I just plowed straight through there. I just went straight in, like, yeah, gotta find the love of my life with all these girls trying to invite me to play board games with them.
You know how sometimes you have over like a page that says like copyright, so people are very aware. You should just have that of just friends. We're just friends over the
platonic.
Yeah. Well, that was great. Well, thank you very much for that tale. I think it's time to move on to our second guest, Greg. Whenever you're ready, we would love to hear your story.
So I don't have, this is the only bad story. And so for anyone that's listening, right, like you're going to listen to this and go, but that's not really a bad dating story. It's like, so this is actually my worst dating story, which just goes to show like, I'm actually a good dater, says the guy who's single, but still.
I love relatable content.
Right. So I met this girl and we went to a sushi restaurant. I'm like, what girl is not going to like sushi? So great. We go to a sushi restaurant. I always pay. I'm the kind of guy, call it, that's how I've grown up. I will always pay for my date. And the last little piece I'll preface is one thing I really hate is wooden sticks in your mouth. Takes you back, like, think about ice cream, right? Ice cream, like you're taking the ice cream stick and like the next thing you know, you get down to the stick that takes you back to being like a kid in the doctor's office, you know, open up and say, ah. It gives me the shivers. Like, I just can't stand that, right? So I say that all because I'm at a sushi restaurant now, right? And conversation, I'm pulling teeth. I talk for a living. Like, I can talk to anyone. I literally work in sales. That's what I do. I am pulling teeth. I'm like, why am I on this date with this person? I can't remember what our text chain was like. So going back to Natasha, your point of like, I'm trying to get people off the dating app into real world. It must have been decent enough that we went to like, all right, let's go date, right? So I'm sitting there pulling teeth, and mind you, I'm like ADD, so I'm watching things that are going around me while I'm paying attention to the person in front of me. And there's 3 gorgeous girls that are sitting there having a blast next to me. And like, they're having not only a blast, but like their conversation is very like sexual. And all I want to do is like butt in there and like have a sexual innuendos or just enjoy their conversation instead of what I'm dealing with here. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I'm like, there's no way I could ditch my date. I'm not that kind of guy who's going to go like, hey, this date sucks. Let's grab the bill and like, let's just go, hey girls, what's up? I wanted to. I literally like was listening in while trying to pull teeth with this girl. We're having sushi. She's literally taking her chopsticks and keeps putting them in her mouth and sucking on them. Like, I don't know. It's like, get like the soy sauce. And to make matters worse, you know when you take sushi and like you dip it into the soy sauce and of course some grains of rice fall in there? Well, she's now trying to take her chopsticks and pick up every little grain of rice that has fallen into the soy sauce and then sucking on it. So I'm like, not am I only sitting here trying to pull teeth, but watch her suck on these. And I'm like, what is this girl doing? This is so bad. So like that just got me. And I'm like, I've got to deal with this girl who is sucking on soy sauce to get every little grain. I'm like, honey, I'm paying for dinner. It's okay. Like, why are we trying to get every grain? If you want more food, we can get more food. Like, it's okay. So fast forward now, the bill comes and she does her standard, I'm going to go to the bathroom and he'll pay type deal. This is the one time I waited for her to come back. And the waiter actually came while she was in the bathroom. Like, hey, you want me to take this? I'm like, oh, no. It's okay. We're still waiting. She comes back. She sits down. And she realizes that I haven't paid. She's like, oh, do you want to split this? And I'm like, yes. Like, unequivocally, yes, we are splitting this. Had no problem doing that. She's like, okay. She paid. We walk out. All I remember is like, I'm glad this date's over. And I really wish, like, my worst date, I'm still thinking about the 3 girls that, hey, maybe one of those could have been the future, right? And this was my worst date. So that's to show you, I really don't have bad dates, but this was my worst.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Greg. I mean, it sounded pretty bad. I mean, it sounds like she sucks. So, I have to say,
right?
With the whole,
not the right way.
My first thought is, well, here's the thing. My first thought is with the sucking of the sticks. Part of me thinks maybe she really was so comfortable with you. She was doing what she do after, like 10 years with someone, like every grain of rice. Or she's read in like Cosmopolitan mag. The guys are going to love this. Like, you sucking on that wood is going to make them think, I sure wish. Like, maybe it was like part of like a flirting tactic for her. And she was like, I don't want to talk and have the conversation. He's not noticed me sucking on the stick yet. Like, how aware do you think she was?
You know, it's when you bring it up that way, and I'm like, oh, Natasha, was I totally missing a cue here where she's saying like, hey, let's go back and like, I'm really good at sucking, back to your point of,
hey, don't drag me into this. I'm sure there are way better ways to signal your intent than slurping down soy sauce.
But even if that's the case, it was pulling teeth. Like I was just could not have a conversation. So if you're like, I don't want to talk, Greg, let's just go back to your place. Miss that whole cue then.
Mm-hmm.
So, Greg, I'm fascinated by the 3 women, right? Do you think that if you had said to her, look, this isn't working, even if you paid the bill, why don't you go on? I want to chat to these 3, right? I have the impression that most groups of women like that would have reacted badly, shall we say, to you dumping someone in front of them.
I mean, that's probably why I didn't do it, right? Like, I just couldn't bring myself to not only ditch her, but also inject myself into, like, a girls' night out of conversation. But, like, it was too hard not to want to.
Have you ever managed to just inveigle yourself into an adjacent conversation like that?
Oh, I do it all the time. I mean... You guys are overseas. I mean, our tables are already spread out, but I'm always like, I wish I had European tables where you're right on top of each other and you're just eavesdropping.
Rosy, any questions or thoughts?
Yeah, I think actually that you just misread that whole situation. Speaking as a woman, do you know what I think happened? I think that she, as any normal woman would do, stalked you online before your date. Found out everything she could about you, was really excited to meet you, had discovered about your hatred of stick sucking, sticks in mouths, and was sitting there. And as you say, you talk for a living, and yet you completely dried up, had nothing to say. I think she was like, Jesus Christ, this guy has got great hair, but he's so dull. How can I get rid of him? I know, I'm going to keep these bloody sticks in my mouth until this guy fucks off. But you just didn't go because you were too busy hoping to interrupt the girls' night out, for which they definitely wouldn't have been grateful. And so she was like, I know, what I'll do now is I'll go to the toilet, and he must be so disgusted with me by now that he'll just fuck off as soon as I go. He must do. So she's gone. She's like timing it. She's like, okay, fine. He can go. I'll pay the bill when I get back. It's all fine. I just want to give him the opportunity to run away. I know it's what he must want to do by now. She gets back and she's like, he's still there. What do I need to do? And so that's why she's like, okay, all right, then let's split the bill. You won't let me pay it all by you running away. Let's split it. I'll be, I'll take one for the team.
You sound like this lady's lawyer. And so, people of the jury, please, I have to ask.
I put it to you.
As a member of the jury, I've heard both sides now that the stick sucking was suggestive and that it was in fact or rejective, and I'm looking for the third secret.
So you're basically saying, Rosy, that's her MO. She's like, I know most people can't stand the sticks in the mouth thing, so if I just want to shove off this person, that's my cue for them. There you go. I like it.
Maybe. I mean, that's slightly editing what I said, but we'll go with your version if you want.
Touche.
Yeah.
Seeing as Rosy, I feel like you got fire underneath you now. I think this is a great time to introduce you, and thank you very much, Greg, for your tale. I think it's time to move on. Rosy, are you ready to tell your story?
I am. Mine is a story of humiliation.
Yes.
I was sort of thinking back to what my most horrible dates were, and I was thinking back to some ones where other people were horrible, but in this one, I just got together with this guy. I was in the last year of my PhD, and in that year, I'd been asking all my friends if they would make dinner for me one night a week. Well, 7 friends, so that I never had to make my dinner. Only one of them took me up on it, although one random guy from the internet did send me £100 a month for a year, which was quite nice. Never met him before, never after. No strings attached. Odd, but great. And anyway, this guy, he happened to come over and stay with me on the night that I was going to go to my friend's house for my dinner. And so I thought, I'll take him with me. I don't want to waste a free dinner night. And so we went over there, and normally she and I don't drink because it was a school night. We both had children. They were like teenagers by that point, but still. But, he was introducing him to her, took a bottle of wine. She had got a bottle of wine. Then we had a third bottle of wine. And then he and I and my daughter, 15-year-old daughter, went back home to my house. He lived quite far away. She went to bed and he was like, shall we have a gin and tonic? And I don't normally drink that much, but even when I do not vomit. But we ended up in the middle of some insane, perverse sexual acts on the carpet of my living room, having a wonderful time. Everything was great. And the next thing the next part is sort of from his perspective, because I don't remember. We were cuddling on the sofa by the end of this, drifted off to sleep. And then I just sort of opened my eyes again, and I was in bed and sort of covered in stench. And he said, he was like, oh God, you're alive, thank God. He said that because we were both completely naked on the sofa. And he said that he'd sort of been awakened in the middle of the night by this lovely, warm, soft feeling spreading over his stomach. And he'd been sort of vaguely thinking, oh, what's she doing? Is she like licking me or giving me a massage? And he realized it was a stream of kind of persistent, never-ending, voluminous vomit all over him. My friend had made this like black bean stew, and I was puking and puking and puking, and there was puke all over the sofa. There was puke on the walls. When Olive got up, my daughter, the next day, apparently she went into the living room, so there's like sticky vomit handprint on the wall. I was like, what happened in here? But when I sort of stumbled out of bed, the worst part was I realized I'd slightly shat myself. I was just like, and I'd been the cool one. Yeah, he lived in some crappy village in the middle of nowhere. I was like in Brighton. I was like glamorous, and as far as he knew, I was just like, I was lucky in a way though, because when he'd got up and had to be clearing up all this vomit, bless him, in the middle of the night, it was spick and span by the time I got up. There was also, he was like, if that hadn't happened, Olive would have come in the morning and found us both completely naked on the sofa with spread all over the floor like nipple clamps, dildos, strap on, like paddles. I mean, I guess that sometimes too much alcohol does have its uses. But yeah, it was not a great look for the start of a relationship. That's my tale of woe.
Okay. So, Rosy, there are so many questions. We're going to be here days on this one. I suppose my first question is, was there a second date? Or did you see him again?
Well, yeah, we stayed together for years. I mean, we only broke up when he left me for another woman, but then he had left his wife for me. So I guess what goes around comes around. But I mean,
Wow.
remarkably, yeah, it didn't put him off.
Well, Natasha, I hope you feel a bit better about your faux pas.
There's a thing called perspective that sometimes just like comes flying in. Mildly.
I honestly don't know what to say. I mean, it's probably horrific, the fact that it was like a black bean, like it just sounds demonic, like at the absolute level of sick that you were. Did you guys ever laugh about it? Did it become kind of like remember the time, or you're like, let's never speak of this again?
No, we laughed about it. We did laugh about it the next day. He was like, I was just trying to get you in the bath so I could at least hose you down as you were vomiting.
Oh my God.
I know. If anyone listens to this, I am very glamorous and cool, and I haven't shat myself for a very long time, so please forgive me.
Right. Greg, anything to add? The absolute shit you gave Greg for the wooden spoons thing.
I mean, she's got talent.
I've got no problem. I agree with having the wooden spoons. I think it's disgusting. It makes me feel like it's like biting a flannel or something.
Yeah, but we're discussing the shitting woman's thing right now. She's really got to keep on topic there.
I mean, basically what I got is the sex was really good. I mean, the fact that you're like, we got paddles, dildos, all these sex toys just lying around, and he's like, I'm going to clean up after you. Sounds like, all right, no wonder that you guys lasted for a little while. It's like, we're having fun. Yeah, there's some bodily functions that I'm not used to dealing with, but hey, overall, this is a good time.
Honestly, it's a green flag that he did all that. It's a red flag, though, that he was like, well, I'm leaving my wife, so I've got to make this work.
This is true. This is true.
Natasha, you must have some input on this.
Oh my God. You'd think so, but I feel like all the thoughts went out of my brain when the voluminous amounts of vomit started happening, honestly. I think the peak for me was really the phrase, thank God you're alive, which really, I don't know if you can remember what your thoughts were when he said that to you.
To be honest, I felt so wretched that I also have myself as in a cross between also being grateful and wishing I wasn't, I imagine. But that is too much of a shameful blur to bring that part to mind.
Okay, that's fair enough. Well, I think we have a very fascinating episode we have produced here today. That's pretty much all the time we have. So have you any final musings to leave with us? So I think we'll start with Natasha. Natasha, anything to mention or plug or anything like that?
First of all, hi, I'm Natasha. I've never vomited or shat myself on a date. Also,
Damn you.
So, you can find me at The Lost Son Society, which is my speculative fiction podcast, if you want to check it out. It's all about the apocalypse. Very much less comedic than this, but, I'm sure there's some overlap. I'm sure some of the dates have been apocalyptic.
Hey.
Greg, have you anything to mention before we head to the end?
I mean, this was a great episode. The fact that this was fun. I love that you guys have a podcast, that we get to do this. We got to meet because you host your podcast with the company I work for, RSS.com. So if anyone's got a podcast, great. Switch it over. You get 6 months free. Or if you want, I'll give you a promo code for a free time, RSS6, the number 6, free, FREE. But yeah, podcasting, this was great. I love that you guys are doing this. So thanks for having me.
Thanks very much. Rosy, have you any last words?
I do have a new collection of poetry coming out. And I'll be touring that with lots of readings in October, November, December. The collection is called I Love. I have not written anything about this particular occasion in it, actually, but there are plenty others just as juicy in each.
Excellent. Very good.
So look out for that. It's Rosy Carrick.
Thanks very much, Rosy.
Thank you to our guests and thank you to our listeners. If you enjoyed the podcast, please give us a like, follow, share, subscribe, whatever's possible on your platform, RSS or otherwise. And please give us a review. It really makes a difference to an up-and-coming podcast like us, pushing us to the algorithm. If you give us 5 stars, I will set you up with my friend Jim. If you give us 1 star, well, you can go suck on a wooden stick. But if you really liked it, you can do us a huge favour by telling one person in your life, face to face, the old-fashioned way.
Telling Tinder Tales is a live format as well and comes at various festivals around the country, including at the Nottingham Comedy Festival in November. So I hope to see you there.
You can follow us on our socials at Telling Tinder Tales for those dates and details.
And all that's left now is to say goodbye. Say goodbye, folks.
Bye.
Bye.
Telling Tinder Tales is hosted and produced by me, Chris O'Neill, and Thomasin Lockwood. Produced and edited by Lucy Regan, with music by Kinkas Moreira. It's a Jester's Comedy Dublin production and is no way affiliated with or endorsed by Tinder. If you have a story to tell, please get in touch. Details are in the show notes. And if you like us, instead of swiping right, follow us on Instagram and or TikTok at Telling Tinder Tales.